Tony Fab Productions.
Good morning, JDD Jaguars, and welcome to another edition of our Jaguar Roadmap. Today, we are talking about conflict resolution. And what I mean by conflict resolution is, how do we go ahead and solve a problem with someone else that we may be having? Sometimes, around the school, we notice that students don't always react the right way when someone does something that they do not necessarily like. So today, that is going to be the focus of our homeroom activity. But first, let's take a quick look at a movie known as The Waterboy.
Is there anybody here can tell me where happiness comes from? No. Anyone? All right. Let's hear what Mama has to say on the subject.
Mama say that happiness is from magic rays of sunshine that come down when you're feeling blue.
Well, folks, Mama's wrong again.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mama's right.
All wrong. Mama's right. Mama's right. Something wrong with his medulla oblongata.
It's okay to fight back. Coach Klein said I could. Mr. Coach Klein said I could. It's fine.
Alright, students, so while that is a very, very funny scene where the player in the movie, Bobby Boucher, tackles his professor, I want you all to take a quick moment to answer the question about what is wrong with the way that Bobby went about solving the conflict in this situation. Now, obviously, the professor was wrong for talking about Bobby's mama, but what is wrong with the way Bobby went about solving the conflict, and is there another way he could have gone about it? After you're done answering the question, if your teacher would like, you all can share it out loud. Alright, Jaguars, now that we've had a chance to go ahead and take a look at that video and answer that question, we're going to go ahead and take a look at another bit of conflict. This one is in the movie known as Despicable Me. Alright, so let's take a look at the scene, and we're going to pause for a second and just answer, how would we deal with the situation?
Still.
Hey!
Oops. My unicorn!
Alright, so just take 10 seconds. Someone just burned a unicorn with a laser ray. Now, I know how some of you might respond to the situation, but just think about it. 10 seconds. How would you respond? How should you respond? Take a few seconds to share out in class. Alright, now, let's look at how she actually responds.
You have to fix it.
Fix it? Look, it has been disintegrated. By definition, it cannot be fixed. That's freaking me out. What is she doing?
She's gonna hold her breath until she gets a new one.
Ugh. It is just a toy. Now stop it. Okay, I'll fix it. Tim, Mark, Phil. This is very important. You have to get the little girl a new unicorn toy.
Eh? Papoy? Tara na, Papoy. No. Papoy. Ah, Papoy.
Hey.
Okay, so maybe that's not exactly the best lesson to learn from, but there is something to be learned here, right? Rather than just automatically retaliating or fighting the other girl, she of course turns to a person who is in authority and asks for the situation to be fixed by him. And so many times when we're in school, right, if there's an issue you are having with another student or even with another teacher, you can come to an authority. Someone like myself, Mr. Alfred, Mr. Joseph, Dr. Williams, Mr. Bada, your teacher, a security guard. There are people you can turn to help you solve the situation. I just ask that you don't hold your breath until we solve it. All right, but let's take a look at a better clip. All right, in this one, I'm going to ask you guys to be prepared to answer some questions for, in terms of how you can deal with conflict. All right, even in the most difficult of situations.
That's my bed. And that's his bed.
I ain't looking at that for 2 weeks, man. Take it down.
You can close your eyes for 2 weeks, all I care. Why don't you look at your wall and I look at mine?
I'll look wherever I want to, and I don't want to be looking at that for 2 weeks.
Then you better use your X-ray vision, Superman, and look right through it, because it ain't coming down.
Alright, so now that we've had a chance to watch that video about conflict, I want you to take a moment to silently, in your notebooks, respond to question 2 and 3. Alright, now this is based off of a true story. It's from the movie Remember the Titans, if any of you notice it. And the first question I want you to answer and write down in your notebook is, what is the conflict between the players on the football team? Give what you know about history, what you know about the Civil Rights Movement of the 1960s. What is the problem between the players? The next question that I want you to quietly respond to in your paper or in your notebooks is, are the players on their way to resolving the conflict properly? Why or why not? Now remember, conflict is an issue between two people in this situation or a group of people, and resolving is how are we going about fixing the problem. So take about 4 minutes to respond to these questions quietly in your notebooks, and if your teacher would like, you can take some time to share out. Thank you. Teachers, I ask that you pause the video for just a few minutes and allow students some time to respond. Alright, Jaguars, now that you've had a moment to respond, let's take a look to kind of see how this conflict begins to actually break down between the players and ultimately for the team.
Particulars and just get this over with, all right?
Particulars?
Yeah.
No matter what I tell you, you ain't gonna never know nothing about me.
Hey, listen, I ain't running any more of these 3 days, okay?
Well, what I got to say you really don't want to hear, because honesty ain't too high up on your people's priority list, right?
Honesty? You want honesty? All right, honestly, I think you're nothing. Nothing but a pure waste of God-given talent. You don't listen to nobody, man. Not even Doc or Boone. Shiver push on the line every time, man. You blow right past them. Push them, pull them, do something. You can't run over everybody in this league. And every time you do, you leave one of your teammates hanging out to dry. Me in particular.
Why should I give a hoot about you? Huh? Or anybody else out there? You want to talk about a waste? You the captain, right?
Right.
Captain's supposed to be the leader, right?
Right.
You got a job?
I have a
you
job.
You been doing your job?
I've been doing my job.
Then why don't you tell your white buddies to block for Rev better? Because they have not blocked for him or for Plug Nickel, and you know it. Nobody plays, yourself included. I'm supposed to wear myself out for the team? What team? No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look out for myself and I'm gonna get mine.
See, man, that's the worst attitude I ever heard.
Attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
Alright, Jaguars, after watching that scene, let's take 1 minute to answer the question on the screen. Teachers, please pause the video and give students some time to respond to the question and share out. Alright, Jaguars, now that you've had a moment to respond, I just want to put in my 2 cents here. After watching that scene, I feel like there's a very valuable lesson that we can all kind of learn from the players on the Titans. Right, there isn't always going to be an adult around who can kind of help resolve the situation, but that doesn't mean that you two or whoever you're having a conflict with can't resolve it yourselves. And one of the best ways to do that is to have an open conversation with the other person. See where they're coming from. See what issues they're having. Understand their point of view. Many times the conflicts that we are having are simply born out of a misunderstanding, or he said, she said, or someone told me this, or someone told me that. There's no way we can truly get past that until we actually take a moment to talk to the other person. Let's see how the way these 2 players went about it goes ahead and leaks over to the rest of the team and resolves the conflict for everyone.
Let's go!
What was that, Ray? Whatever it is, it ain't blocking.
Give me a break.
You want a break? I'll give you a break. Me and Julius.
Wait a minute. Just let them
We
handle
get to
this.
Rev once, just one time. I swear to God, I'm gonna hit you so hard by the time you come to. Ooh, boy, you're gonna need a new haircut. You understand me? Let's play, fellas.
On the ball, let's run it again.
Let's go.
All right.
You all right, Big Petey? You all right?
You really stuck him, Campbell.
Yeah, I love me a little contact, Petey.
Left side.
Strong side.
Left side.
Strong side.
Left side.
Strong side.
Left side. Left side.
Alright, Jaguars, so that just about wraps up our JDD roadmap for today. But there are a few important lessons that I want to make sure that we take away from today's lesson. Alright, as we saw at the in that ending scene there, right, the ability for the players to talk it out really kind of helped them to see where each other were coming from and ultimately work as a team. Now, obviously not every situation may not end that way, and you don't have to truly be friends with every single person that you meet. However, being able to be respectful, see the other person's point of view, and respecting what they believe are some very important things that will all help us solve the conflicts going on around us. With that said, there are 4 key things that I want us to remember as we move forward. Alright, let's think of these as the 4 commandments to solving conflicts. Alright, the first commandment: the silent treatment does not work. Simply sitting there and refusing to talk about the situation with a person or with an adult will not solve the problem. It will not make it go away. So talk it out. The second commandment: be understanding. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Don't get defensive and actually analyze the situation. Commandment number 3: learn to say sorry. All right, stand in front of the mirror and practice if need be. If you're wrong, accept it. Doing so will not make you a wimp. Only a strong person has the strength to say sorry. And lastly, if you were not in the wrong, be able to accept an apology. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes people misunderstand things. We can only really move forward and get past things if we are able to accept an apology. So with that said, I want everyone to have a great Jaguar-free day. And remember those 4 tips as we go ahead and interact with our different problems throughout the day, the week, the month, and the school year.